Honestly, I just wish that somebody told us this before we moved out here.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be speaking about an interesting topic. Maybe you're not the sporty type, maybe the outdoors scare you to death, and maybe when you speak to strangers in the street, it absolutely petrifies you. These are all valid reasons to not move to Australia, but in today's video, we're going to be speaking about 7 more reasons why you shouldn't move to Australia. For anybody that is new to the channel, a little bit of an introduction to us. We are 2 Brits that live in Australia, and we have lived here for the last year and 8 months, giving us a well-rounded understanding of living in Australia. So in today's video, we're going to round up some comical and serious reasons why people maybe shouldn't move to Australia. And if you're a regular on the channel, you may be noticing that there is double pooches on the screen. We're currently looking after our friend's pooch for a little while, so everybody say hello to Evie. He's having a nice little sleep on the lap, and Pico's joining us as well.
And speaking about dogs, point number 1 is going to be the heartbreak and difficulty of bringing pets into Australia. This is a really good point to start with because I feel like it's good for our Australian audience to also know how strict the biosecurity is in this country, because you may not actually know. It's safe to say moving with a pet is a serious logistical nightmare. Total cost to bring a pet across the globe can easily cost 8 to 10,000 Australian dollars. As of May 2026, quarantine timeframes are now at least a minimum of 10 days, which is significantly better since we brought Pico, because at that point, a year and a half ago, it actually was a 30-day quarantine period for the dog. Now, the separation with your dog and, of course, the financial burden that it brings of bringing your pet across the globe is bad enough, but then also certain dog breeds are actually banned to come into Australia, along with certain cat breeds that are also banned, and in Queensland, also rabbits are completely banned. So if you're looking to move to Australia and you're looking to bring your furry friend with you, these are some serious things that you need to factor in.
Point number 2 on the list is the high cost of alcohol and beer. Going out in Australia for a couple of drinks can be a major financial decision in 2026, and especially for those who move over and aren't aware of how expensive it can be in certain areas. In 2026, in certain city venues, we actually saw some prices for pints on a graph pricing between 15 to 18 Aussie dollars. Now on screen, I can actually show you a graph showing where the most expensive pints are in the world. And as you can see, Australia ranks as one of the top when you compare that to other countries like the US, Canada, and the UK. If you're not aware of these prices, it can really knock you off your feet when you go with just a little drink or two. Now, Australia is a very, very large country indeed, and we are specifically speaking about the city spots. A lot of people who emigrate from other countries to Australia, they tend to go to the big cities. Your Melbourne, your Perth, your Brisbane, your Sydney. These are the places where they head, and you could be stumped with some crazy prices for a bit of a drink.
Point number 3 is the rental crisis and the house shortages.
This is a big one that Australians really do struggle with and is a must to research before you come over here. We see so many people on Facebook groups saying, I arrive in 3 days, 4 days from another country and I've not got a property. Do not put yourself in that position. This one is a serious, serious one to look at.
Slight adjustment of our shot, if you've not noticed, guys. They say don't work with animals and children. The animals are absolutely fine, but the weather is so unpredictable. This is supposed to be the dry season here in Queensland, and we're having so much rain, mostly showers, but a lot of rain at the moment.
There's a bonus point. If you don't like the rain, it does rain in Australia.
Rental availability are at a record low currently, and prices have surged over 40% in many areas. Expect application fatigue, and please bear in mind that at many different viewings that you may go to, you would probably likely see a long queue out of the door of other viewers.
If you're enjoying this list so far, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, it's completely free and just means that when we post, you will be notified for future content. On average, this is how many people watching aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you're in that list, let's try and change it and get subscribing. Point number 4 on the list is slow internet speed and signal loss being a regular thing in Australia. When it comes to connectivity, Australia often ranks below other developed countries similar to it, and this does come as a shock if you aren't aware before moving.
With the sheer size of the country, it's often that there's blackout spots, and we actually experienced this when my sister came over. Even driving down main highways, Spotify would just completely cut out and not play the music just because there were no signal in that area, and that's pretty common here. And that's on the coast, so you can only imagine what it's like when you go more inland.
Australia's fixed broadband speeds often rank well below a lot of European and North American countries. When you're living in a little bit more rural than your major cities and built-up areas, you can experience some horrendous signal levels, and this has been a first-hand struggle for us when we're trying to upload videos to YouTube, especially when we were doing our road trip and we were in far north Queensland trying to get the signal to get the video uploaded. There was probably more times of stress than bliss on that holiday. So if your job or lifestyle means that you need to connect to internet regularly and it needs to be decent speeds, this can sometimes come as a shock to people, and you need to make sure that you understand it before you arrive.
Point number 5 is high and unpredictable fuel prices. The cost of driving a vehicle in Australia has become a huge financial burden.
Although Australia's fuel prices do rank below the UK on average, recently there has been an absolute surge in the price of fuel in Australia. And when you look at the cost of living in Australia compared to the UK, one of the places that you actually save money was that fuel, and now that gap has massively shrunk.
But what makes that worse out here is most engines are large V8, pretty big engines. They're not like your usual hatchback little city car, so as you can imagine, they are fuel guzzlers by a country mile. As of recording this video, filling a large 4x4 can now cost you and set you back $270 just to fill the tank.
Can you imagine how many Woolies mudcakes you could buy with that? Wasted money. I wonder if these cars could run off a Woolies mudcake. I know I definitely can.
There's that much sugar in them, I reckon you could definitely
Probably could.
fuel your cars with one of those.
Point number 6 on the list is dangerous UV levels and the extreme sun. Many people move to Australia chasing that sun, but they don't actually understand the health hazards that do come with exposure to that sun here. The UV index is often extreme in Australia, especially in Queensland. Even on a cloudy day, it is not uncommon to find yourself getting sunburn if you're exposed to the sun for a certain length of time. Anybody growing up in Australia is very aware of a rule called no hat, no play. For anybody external to the country, this basically is a rule for children in school that if they're going outside at break time, they have to have a hat on to play out in the playground. This is something we've only learnt about since moving to Australia, but for example, we didn't experience Australian school, so we didn't understand the severity of the sun. We could move over here, go and lie on a beach, burn to a frazzle, and potentially develop melanomas or skin problems later down the line because we aren't as educated on the sun as Aussies who are born and raised here.
Point number 7 is increasing migration cost and visas. This is actually where the motive of the video came from for filming this one today, because we are currently experiencing this ourselves. Australia is currently set up for short-term visa shortages to be filled, but unfortunately that doesn't mean that staying in the country is easy, even if you have lived here for quite a few years. The financial barrier to enter is the highest it's currently ever been. As of recent, in April 2026, there has been an increase in price across all the visas available to overseas people currently.
Another point when it comes to visas that people can sometimes be unaware of is it's quite hard to get a visa, move across to the other side of the world and start up a life. But for those who are looking to extend their stay or look for permanent residency, this is when you can find some real challenges. So you often find people who might move their lives across the world but then struggle to get long-term residency in Australia and have to make the move back. And that is the worst, when you've fallen in love with this country and you can't stay.
So these are just 7 points that we've put together today, but there's many more reasons why moving to Australia might not be the right thing to do.
I don't want the points in today's video making us come across as whinging poms. Definitely not the intention of today's video, but it is a reality check for people if they are moving. And we wanted to offer a little bit of personal experience from struggles that we faced moving from the other side of the world to Australia. Australia is an amazing country, and there are some fantastic perks of living here. You can see 1,000 million videos on the channel on why we love this country so much, but we'd be lying if struggles didn't come along with that, and that's natural if you were moving to anywhere.
So we hope this video has been very informative for all of you watching, and also for our Australian audience. Again, very informative, because there might be some points on this list that you wasn't aware of either.
So maybe you're an expat who's moved to Australia and you're watching this video. Comment below and let us know what struggles you found. And also for the Australians watching us, let us know what you think about these points. Did we cover them well enough? Were we informed enough? We tried our best and did our research, so let us know in the comments how well or how bad we did.
So thank you very much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video. We certainly enjoyed putting it together and creating this informative content for you guys. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, we have just created a brand new series on this channel, which is our town tours. I'm going to say it like you Aussies. That's as good as the accent gets for me, I think. And that will be going live every single Monday of each week. So do not miss this Monday to see what town we are going to next. And make sure to comment below and let us know what town you think that we need to go to.
But I think for today's video, we are wrapped up. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. We've definitely enjoyed putting this list together, and it could be an interesting one to see what you guys think. But with all that being said, we've got two little pooches to feed, and yeah, they're looking quite hungry and ready to wrap up the video. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to everybody who does support us. Flash up the members on the screen now. All of your support is absolutely amazing, so thank you to you guys. I also want to say thank you to anybody who has or plans to buy from the merch store. I've got the cap on, Cody's got the shirt on. Go and grab yours in the link in the description if you're interested. And that is all for today, so thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you in the next one.
Bye.
Adios.